Yo, what's going on, guys? K7 here, and in today's video we got a little bit of a different kind of video today. I know you guys seen tier list before, but I wanted to get out an early tier list, like for the beta for Marvel Rivals, because I think I have a decent idea of where all these characters kind of line up, just based off of what I've seen, some team comps I've seen and stuff like that. But let me know what you guys think about each and every one of these picks, and yeah, let's just get started. So I think what I'll end up doing is I'll just go in order of how they have it here. So to start off, we'll just talk about Black Panther. Just the way the game's meta seems to be developing, and just the way the character choices that everybody else is picking, it kind of shows me that I think Black Panther is going to be on the weaker side of things. I'm not going to put anybody in D tier because I think anybody could be pretty much used, but I'll do S, A, B, C, and C tier will be like probably needs help. B tier will be like just about average, like you can use them and it's fine. A tier is like these characters are solid, and the S tier will be like obviously top of the line. These characters are probably going to be meta, and these are the characters you're going to be picking pretty much always. But Black Panther, he has really good movement and mobility, but I don't think he has enough damage to kill through some of these other healers. Like pretty much any healer's healing. Like if Black Panther's doing damage to somebody and someone's getting pocketed and they're getting healed, I just don't think Black Panther has the damage to, kill them, unless he's ulting, of course. But yeah, I think that's probably what holds him back. But then again, there's probably not too many characters that can do that anyway. But also with just the simple fact that he's a melee character, he doesn't really have much range outside of his two little spears that he throws, which reset the dash cooldown. But like I said, I don't think he's gonna be that strong, especially with some of the other characters that are being played. But I think if you run him in like a good dive comp, maybe with like, I don't know, maybe like Hulk and Magik, and then you got Black Panther, then maybe it could work. But I even then, I think you can't even run two melee DPS characters. You probably have to run like Hela or Punisher or something. But yeah, I think I'll just leave him here for now. Maybe I'll change my mind in a bit. And next character, Doctor Strange, easy S tier in my opinion. He's the only character with like a full team teleport, which is a crazy reposition. You could take high ground with your team, you could flank with your team. Like you don't even have to use the teleport. You could just you could like put the teleporter up and just have it be a threat of like, maybe you have a Black Panther on your team, or like a Spiderman on your team, and it's like, or maybe even you have a Star-Lord and you just have it in the back there just so they could like flank maybe, or you just have it as a line of sight. So you have to change the positioning of like, the enemy team. So let's say I have Punisher set up on a turret. I could just make a portal to where Punisher can set the turret up anywhere, pretty much somewhere safe, and then just set the portal there, and Punisher could just shoot through the portal. Like you could do a lot with this character, especially combined with the fact that he is ranged. So he can just like, he has some range that he can, he can just put out damage at range. You can never go wrong with that. He has like a Reinhardt shield, which is great. And his AoE blast when he builds up his little curse energy is pretty good too. So solid damage, really good front line. He can fly, so he can get away from some of the other dive melee characters that can't really catch him, like Spider-Man or like Black Panther, or let's say there's a Hulk on the team, you can get away from Hulk. Like you can get away from Magik. There's a lot of characters you can get away from because you have that flight. So he's just a solid tank all around. You just can't go wrong with picking Doctor Strange. I think he's probably going to be meta, to be honest. But yeah, easy S tier in my book. Next character is Groot. I think Groot is also another really solid, easy S tier character in my book. He has really good team up synergy with Rocket that gives him really good damage reduction. Also, he has one of the highest healths in the game. Him and Hulk, I think, have the highest health bars in the game with 900. But if you team him up with Rocket, you get damage reduction. So it kind of like the effective health is even greater than that. Also, if you have the support literally on top of you, there's no way you're not getting healed. And he has walls to block himself off of taking damage. You have walls to pretty much ISO any enemy that steps out of position. You have walls to heal. You have wall to protect yourself. You have wall for you could pretty much just like, him and Doctor Strange in combination with each other, you can never go wrong with just having that amount of like frontline pressure on a team. I think it's really good. Solid ult too, just pulls everybody in and keeps them there for like 4 seconds, 5 seconds. So if you have like a Groot ult, goes well with pretty much any ult in the game. You could do like Groot ult with Spider-Man ult, or Groot ult with Scarlet Witch ult, or Groot ult with Magneto ult or Iron Man. Like you could just do whatever, or even Hela ult or Storm. Like it's just a great utility ult, great walls for utility. He does good damage. He's gonna live for a long time. Yes, you know, he just solid all around. I think him and Doctor Strange are gonna be meta. Those are like the 2 solid picks in my book. But yeah. Next we're gonna talk about Hela. Hela is like also another easy S tier in my book. She just has amazing point and click damage. It's like Kiriko's kunai throw. That's what it reminds me of, except you just, you know, you're actually a DPS, which Kiriko kind of is a DPS Loki, but yeah, it's just a solid damage with that. She has a really good escape with her bird form. You just go bird form and just kind of get away from people. Some characters can chase her down pretty easy if you find her without her bird form, like the Hulk, or if you're getting dove, maybe like Spiderman and stuff like that. But what makes it okay is that her ult is also like another get out of jail free card. So like what you could do is you could be dancing around the point shooting, and then you can fly away, and then if you're getting dove again, you can just ult and it resets your health bar and you're just flying above the whole map, and then it resets your it basically gives time for your escape to get off cooldown, where you could probably get a pick, ult, get another pick, and then escape out, or you know, stuff like that. And she also goes really well with other characters like Punisher. Like her and Punisher together are really good. They just have a lot of range damage, and it's really hard to catch her. And even if you do manage to catch Punisher, Punisher is really good at getting out damage with his shotgun. But we're not talking about Punisher, we're talking about Hela. But yeah, she's really solid all around. I think she's also going to be one of the meta picks, but she's the one character I was thinking like SRA, but I think just because of how strong she is with some of these other characters, like Groot's pull with Hela ult is really good, or just Hela with Loki is also really good. It's like she has really good team up synergies that's gonna keep her in this S tier for me, I think. But yeah, I think she's really solid. Next pick is gonna be the Hulk. This one's a little weird for me because I actually main the Hulk. I've been playing him pretty much the whole alpha, and part of me wants to put him A tier because I think he is good in the right team comps. But when I think of some of the other characters that are up here that are just doing better than him, it's hard to say that he can even be like here. But I think A tier is fine for him. I think I'll leave him A tier for now. His Bruce Banner form, it's not really useful. You could get some poke damage in before the match starts, but I think you should just start off in Hulk form when the game starts. There's no reason not to. His AoE team shield is pretty good. If you get like a dive comp and you guys all dive in the back line and you drop the Hulk shield, you can keep your team alive for a really long time. He has CC, so anybody that goes into ult, like not ult, or pretty much if you're fighting against another Hulk and he goes into Monster Hulk form, you could CC him in the Hulk mirror. You could CC people diving your back line. But one thing that I will say that's been very annoying playing as Hulk is you can't CC the Punisher. Like you can't stun the Punisher when he goes into his ult, which is very annoying. You can't stun Hela when she's about to go into her ult, which is very annoying. Like there's just characters that you just can't stun them out of their abilities, and it's kind of frustrating because when I'm playing the Hulk and I go into Monster Hulk, I can get stunned, but there's other characters that just can't get stunned. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense. Same thing with Luna. You can't stun Luna out of her ult, so that's really annoying. It just kind of like, the more I start to think about it, makes me want to put him here. But yeah, I think what I'll do is just put him here because I don't even really see, like, I think there's other tanks, or I even think Magneto is like better than him, to be honest, if played with the right comp. But the thing that I think might be a saving grace for Hulk is that his team up with Doctor Strange is actually pretty decent. It gives Doctor Strange extra damage, gives Iron Man extra damage, but that's really it. But yeah, I think I'll just leave him in B tier because I just don't know how. Yeah, I'll just leave him in B tier. I just don't know how he can stick onto people. I know his leap is really good. Like you could just keep jumping permanently, but there's characters that could just fly, and it's kind of hard to drag people down out of the air. But if you can, it's pretty solid. You get like a free kill if you drag somebody out the air. But his Monster Hulk form is okay. I don't like how his left click just smacks everybody away from him, so you just can't do damage if you smack him away. But your right click, your clap, it goes off on a really short cooldown, so you get a really good damage if you can catch a few people together, like 2 or 3 people lined up, and you hit a nice clap. You can get a really solid team fight damage. I'm not gonna talk about him for too much longer, but I also think that his Monster Hulk form ult, where you like grab them and slam them around, I think that kind of sucks. It doesn't really do enough damage, and they can get healed through it. So anytime you grab somebody, it's really not even a kill. Like it doesn't even guarantee a kill. It doesn't even guarantee like half HP or anything like that, because they just get healed and then you just transform back. I don't know. It's not very great, to be honest. There's other more impactful ults than Hulk's ult, so yeah, I would just leave him in B tier for now. Next we'll talk about Iron Man. I think Iron Man sucks in this game. He's supposed to kind of be like Farah, but I don't really think that he has his mercy in the game. Like there's no healer that can stay up in the air and fly with him and keep him healed up and keep him alive. So I feel like it kind of makes him hard to play. And he's also really slow. Like he flies at walk speed, if that makes sense. Like he flies so slow. Spider-Man is super fast when he web swings, and Doctor Strange literally shoots up in the air when he decides to fly. Hulk can jump like across the map. Some of these characters have dashes that go really far and teleports and shit, and Iron Man's flying and it's like, damn, I'm not going anywhere. Like it kind of sucks. But yeah, I think Iron Man is kind of whack in this game, but I could be wrong. Maybe somebody plays Iron Man and they're really good with him, and I don't know. But yeah, his ult is good, so if you pair it up with like Groot ult, you can definitely wipe a team. But that's it. He doesn't really have like any other great synergies. Like his synergy with the Hulk is pretty decent, but it's not anything crazy. I think Unibeam is pretty good. But like I said, he's pretty easy to kill because he doesn't have his mercy. So like anybody in the game can kill him. Like Loki can kill him, snipe him out the air. Strange can kill him. Hela can kill him. And he flies so slow that he's actually pretty easy to grab out of the air with Hulk. Luna can kill him. Naymor can kill him. Punisher can kill him. Rocket can kill him. Even Scarlet Witch if you play it right. Mantis, like anybody can. There's so much like hit scan in the game, or so many projectiles in the game, where it's like you don't even really feel safe in the air. You kind of need to be on the ground or hiding behind something sometimes, I feel like. So playing Iron Man kind of is hard, especially when you don't have that mercy counterpart with you. But yeah, that's where I'll leave him for now. Loki, I think Loki is great in this game. He has the immortality field. He has great healing. He's really hard to kill, especially if he's using his invis right and his teleports properly. He's like impossible to catch. And then by the time you finally catch him, or you think you catch him, he's either one, teleporting away, going invis, or he's ulting and turning into your tank and killing your team. Or he's ulting and turning into your DPS and killing your team. Or he's ulting and taking one of the better support ults. Like he's ulting, maybe taking Rocket ult, or maybe not Mantis ult, Luna's ult. Like he's just one of those characters that I feel like if you're playing support, you're gonna have a good time playing this character, and you're also gonna have a fun time. Like he's definitely easily meta, because I think any character with the immortality field and like that is this hard to kill and with such good healing, I feel like is no reason for them not to be S tier. I think he's easy S tier S tier in my book. Next, Luna. I think Luna's pretty solid. She's just because I don't think she's like a must play, but I do think she's really good. Her ult is literally like one of the best team ults in the game, just because it's hard to kill her or kill anybody through it, to be honest. So once she ults, everybody's gonna pretty much stay alive, unless you guys really burst down a target. Everyone in that ult is probably gonna stay alive. So her ult is pretty solid. Her healing is really good, and she has CC. You can't go wrong with like a nice stun or a nice freeze where you can like, let's say you're getting dove by a back, like let's say Hulk is diving, or whoever, Magik is diving, anybody, you have a freeze and you can get away. You have the speed boost, you have the heal boost. Like she's just a solid support all around. Not too much more to talk about for her, but she is really solid, and she is kind of hard to hit sometimes because she is a little bit smaller. But yeah, she's really solid, and she's also really fast, so kind of makes her hard to kill. Solid if you ask me. Next character is Magik. I think Magik is actually pretty decent, especially if you play her with the right team comp. She could be a menace in the backline if she goes unchecked. Like if you're not turning around to kill her, which honestly it's still hard to do that, because when she does damage, she's gaining shields. So the damage that you're doing back to her while she's fighting you is just being shielded. And on top of that, she has a teleport. So she's teleporting in and out. It's kind of making her hard to hit. and when she's hitting you, she's getting shield. So by the time you're like, oh, there she is, you're shooting her, she has her shield back, and oh, she's teleporting again, and she's just being a menace in the back line. Yeah, she's definitely a problem. I think if the other like if anything happens to the other top tier DPS characters, I think she would easily be top tier, but I think the other ones are just a bit too strong. Not a bit too strong, but they're just stronger than her, and you can use them in pretty much any situation. So I'll just leave Magik here. You also can't go wrong with playing her either. I think she's great. Yeah, solid pick all in all. Her ult is also really good too. It just makes all of her shit so much better. She just has longer range, does more damage. I think she gets more lifesteal or more healing when she ults. You just can't go wrong with it. Definitely solid for sure. And if you think that you would want to play a character like her, you definitely should try her because she's really good. Next character we're talking about is Magneto. Now Magneto's a funny one because I think Magneto is like solid like A tier, like B or A tier. It depends on who you play him with, but I think I'm gonna put him in A tier just because his team up with Scarlet Witch actually like unlocks part of his kit, and it's actually really good. Like he unlocks these like AoE blade, like not AoE, sorry. It like levels up his blade and makes it like a chaos blade, and he launches, you have to activate it first, but once you activate it, you launch projectiles that go through enemies. So you can hit multiple people with these blades. They can't, it doesn't stop at the first person hit, it just goes through. So you can do a ton of team fight damage with this, especially when paired up with a nice team ultimate like Groot's ult, or you know, or even if you have like a damage buff from Rocket, or pretty much anything, like, or a Peni ult, so it's just anything. You just solid damage. It does great damage, and he can keep his team alive with a nice shield bubble. So like if you're playing Magneto and Scarlet wants to go in, you could put your magnetic shield around her and let her ult, and she'll eat a lot of the damage, and it'll recharge your right click. So it makes it really solid for these two to play together. You could also do it with anybody that's going to go in and ult, so like Magneto plus Spiderman, or Magneto plus I forgot his name for a second, but Magneto and Star-Lord, or pretty much anybody that wants to ult and go crazy. You just throw your shield around them and let them go crazy. Like it's kind of like the Hulk's shield, except you could just summon it on one person and they could be far away from you. They don't have to be close. So I think that's where he has like a bit of an edge on the Hulk in that regard. But yeah, really solid. He does good damage. He can keep his team alive. And yeah, when you play him with Scarlet Witch, he definitely just unlocks a really good part of his kit, which I think shouldn't be slept on. So solid A tier in my book. Next we'll talk about Naymor. Naymor is a character I actually haven't seen too much, so it's hard to talk much about him. But I know he has a good team up with Luna, where it makes his like turrets do like ice damage and whatnot. But if I'm being honest, the thing about Naymor is like, if his turrets are up, he's gonna do a lot of damage. He's gonna chip down the enemies in the back line. He's gonna do solid damage. You know, you can't go wrong with it. But if you're just not able to get set up, if you're not able to set up your turrets and get this damage off, I think he's useless. So for that, I'm putting him in B tier. It's just the only thing that I will say that's really good about him is his ult. His ult, it kind of is hard to see. So sometimes his ult indicator doesn't really like register for a lot of people, so people just get randomly ulted by Naymor and get deleted. But I don't think that really merits a great character. But if it's set up with a nice, you know, Groot ult, or you know, Doctor Strange ult or something like that, it could go pretty well. But like I said, if you're not set up, it could be hard to match some of the DPS of these other characters that are coming up. So yeah, I think I'll leave him in the B tier. I think it's a solid position for him. Next we're gonna talk about Peni. Peni is a character I don't really think too much of. I don't think too highly of her. I don't think she's terrible. I think she could do some solid damage, and she has some like really good team AoE. You know, she has good, like, she brings a lot to the team fight. Like she could do a lot, but the thing about her is just that it's not like, it's not crazy meta or anything like game changing. I don't think. Like you could play her and do just fine, and have a good time, have some fun, do some damage, tank some damage. Just all in all, just good, just solid play. But I think when you start to look at the other tanks that kind of overshadow her a little bit, like Magneto, like Groot, like Doctor Strange, it's hard to say that she's on the level of these other ones because she doesn't really do any of that. So I think just all in all, for the most part, I'll just leave her in B tier. I think she's a solid B tier pick. Especially since I want to get to talking about these characters here, like Punisher, easy S tier. This is not ordered, by the way, but Punisher, easy S tier. does solid damage, and if you pair him up with Racoon, you just have infinite ammo, so you just keep shooting like forever, which is insane to me. If you set up the turret, it does a lot of damage, so you have to get him off the turret. You cannot contest him. You have to send somebody to flank him and get him off the turret. But if he has good healers or good tanks or people that's gonna pay attention and watch his back, you're not gonna get him off the turret that easily. Just solid damage all around. His ult is insane. His ult actually will just win a team fight. It just raw wins team fights. If you have Punisher ult, you just win the team fight. I don't know why that is, or who designed it this way, but anytime I hear Judge, Jury, Executioner, I'm actually shitting my pants, because there's no way that Punisher ult clears the team fight and then has ult for the next team fight. He always has ult up. He always kills everybody. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know. I'm not here to complain about Punisher or anything like that. He's just a really great character. Just, I think his ult could be toned down a little bit, because Judge, Jury, and Executioner, like, anytime he says it, I'm actually just scared and I'm running for my life. But yeah, especially when he's teamed up with Rocket and has infinite ammo and never has to reload and is permanently shooting at me. He's permanently building ult charge, especially if you're running characters that don't have shields or walls. Like, if you're not playing Doctor Strange or Groot to block some of his damage, and you're running like Hulk and Magneto, or like Hulk and Penny, or like some of the characters that just sit there and have to get shot at by him, you're gonna feed him ult charge and he's gonna have ult pretty much every fight. So yeah, he's one of those characters that you just can't go wrong with picking. He's really solid, just like I said, can't go wrong. Next we're gonna talk about Rocket. Rocket is a character that I think is also really good, just because like he has insane damage for some reason. Like he just does insane damage. He has solid team heals. You don't even have to like aim and hit your teammates. You just shoot the orb on the ground and you're gonna heal your teammates. His ult is really good. You just ult and everybody gets a damage buff, and you have a free respawn. Like, you put down a respawn beacon and the first teammate that dies just spawns immediately. You just respawn. So it's like fighting a 6v5 almost. So like, somebody can get picked and they're gonna respawn and they're gonna be back in the fight ASAP. Like, you just can't go wrong with this character. And his team ups are amazing. His team up with Punisher giving him like infinite ammo and just perma shooting forever, that's great. And him giving damage reduction to one of the best tanks in the game already is awesome. Like, Rocket is just a perfect mesh. This is the perfect like lineup for the meta. Like, all of this is just meta. It's just meta. You can't go wrong with it. Just there's not even really much more to say about Rocket. I think it just makes sense. Rocket needs to be there. All right, and Scarlet Witch is next. So for Scarlet Witch, I think that she's solid. She's like Moira when it comes to like her damage a bit, but her ult is literally just a team shredder. If you're playing around her ult with Magneto, you guys could do a lot of damage. You guys can literally just team wipe. If you two are playing together, you guys can just team wipe by yourselves. Like, you have so much damage, and she's really hard to kill too with her morph, where she just like teleports away. Like, makes her insanely hard to kill. And she does solid damage. She's hard to hit. She's a little bit smaller. But yeah, her ult is literally like, it's nightmare fuel. That's it. Like, if you're playing this character, you're playing her for her ult, and you're going to be trying to farm ult, and after you're done farming ult, you're going to be looking for your teammates to pretty much back you up and shield you when you're going in for it, aka Magneto. So Magneto, or maybe you have a Hulk, maybe you have a Strange, maybe you could do a lot with her. The thing about her, actually, I don't know, I feel like I want to put her S tier, but I just don't think that's like a prime team comp. I think you kind of need to play with her. I don't think you could just put her on any team, but still solid pick nonetheless. Spider-Man is a weird one, because I think if you're really good at Spider-Man and you're good at getting in and out and doing your damage, it's still pretty hard to play him. Because you get in the back line, you try to get your pick, and if they're getting healed, you can do a lot of damage. Like, he does a lot of burst damage, but it's hard to find that in, or find that pick, or make it that easy, because who are you gonna dive on, right? Like, if you die, let's just say for instance, you can't dive the tanks. You're not gonna dive one of the tanks. That's not gonna happen. You dive Hela, she's just gonna fly away from you. You dive Loki, yes, immortality field or teleport. You dive Punisher. Honestly, he would be the one that you have to dive, but he has a shotgun, so you uppercut him, he shotgun blasts you in the face, and you're just dead. So I just don't know who you're gonna dive on this team. Maybe Rocket, but Rocket even gets away. Like, everybody has an escape, they can get away, but it kind of makes it hard for Spider-Man to stick or get these kills really quickly, especially when the team is playing properly. But I will say Spider-Man's ult is really good. His ult is really, really good. It's like just instant Reaper ult. Like, I guess Reaper ult is instant anyway, but it's just like Reaper ult to me. You just kind of go in and you ult and you kill everybody, and if they don't die, they're going to be stunned, which is also really like insane to me. But really solid ult, can't go wrong with it. But I just think he doesn't really have what some of the other DPS characters have. I think I'll probably have to leave him in like maybe B tier, but I don't know, this could change. I'll probably move characters around as I keep going. And the last few picks that we're going to talk about is Star-Lord. I think that Star-Lord is like in between here. He's like A or S. I think I'm just going to put him S tier, to be honest. You just can't go wrong with playing Star-Lord. Like, if Star-Lord is on your team, you're doing just fine. He has Reaper ult on an ability. I'm not going to call it Reaper ult because it probably doesn't do that much damage, but still solid. He has the auto reload with his dodge. He has like a mini flight to where he can like jet boost out. So it's kind of hard for some melee characters to stay on top of him. And on top of that, he does great damage with his primary fire. And if he ults, he just gets you know, just aimbot. So you just can't go wrong with any of this. But the thing about it is you just got to play around him a little bit, because if he does have ult, everybody's just gonna turn and try to kill him, kind of like Scarlet Witch. Except the way that Scarlet Witch's ult works is she's not DPSing, she's not doing any damage. It takes really long for her ult to go off, so you have a lot of time to kill her. Star-Lord, if he looks at you and you're not getting healed, he's just gonna melt you. And if he has somebody like Magneto or maybe Loki shooting at him with some heals, or you know, if he has any sort of peel or any sort of healing while he's ulting, he's probably gonna wipe your team if you're not in cover. So any ult like that is definitely worthy of, you know, praise. But I think you can't go wrong with having him S tier. I think he's a really solid character. You just can't go wrong with playing him. He's gonna win. He's just gonna win fights for you. Next we're gonna talk about Storm. I think Storm is a solid A tier. She's really good. Like she's really good for the team with her her buffs. Buffs are really solid, and you know, also a flight character. So not every character can hit her. But even if you do have the characters that do hit her, I do still think that she does solid damage, and she also is decently faster than someone like Iron Man. Iron Man just kind of, like I said, he's just down here. I think Iron Man is terrible, but yeah, Storm, you can't go wrong with her. Really solid ult too. Like, you could be fighting on the point, and then you ult with Storm, and you just appear out of nowhere. You just appear in their backline. You just kill at least one person max. You're gonna get a kill with this ult pretty much. You activate the ult, if they don't have a dash, or if you caught them with their escape ability on cooldown, you're gonna get a kill pretty much. You're good for it. So solid A tier pick in my book. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about Mantis really quickly. I think she gets pretty much outshadowed or overshadowed by some of the other healers on this list, but I don't think she's too far off. I will say I think she's a solid A tier. She has CC with the sleep, so if you're getting dove, you can just sleep whoever's in the back line, keep healing your teammates. She has solid damage, you know, like, and her ult is really good for keeping everybody up. It's kind of like you just can't really go wrong with any parts of her kit. There's nothing that I feel like is useless. It's just really solid. It just gets overshadowed a little bit by some of the other healers in the game with their team up abilities as well, like Rocket and like Loki. So yeah, those characters I think are where they are for a reason, and these are my top tiers for a reason. But let me know what you guys think about the list here. Do you guys think there's some characters I should switch around a little bit? I'm open to discussion. The game is early, of course. Nothing I say is, you know, for a fact, because who knows, maybe in like a couple of days I fight against a Black Panther that's insane, and I'm like, yep, Black Panther's the best character in the game. But this is just my opinion. Like I said, I think the characters are where they are for a reason, and I think the placements are all well deserved. But like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.